part of our religion. Allah Azza wa Jal reminds us by saying, وَإِنَّكَ لَعَلَىٰ خُلُقٍ عَظِيمٍ وَإِنَّكَ لَعَلَىٰ خُلُقٍ عَظِيمٍ. Indeed, verily you, Sayyidina Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, you are a prophet of utmost characters, highest, stage of good characters and good conduct. So, even in the 5 pillars of Islam that we have, the rituals that we all do, and without them, our Islam will be incomplete. When we start with Salah, فَالصَّلَاةُ تَنْهَى عَنِ الْفَحْشَاءِ وَالْمُنْكَرِ. It is impossible for someone to pray and then this particular person to be characterized by filthy habits. Because Allah Azza wa Jalla says the sole purpose of Salah is not just coming here and making like a traditional prayer that we've all inherited from our forefathers. Fajr, Maghrib, Isha, back home hear the Adhan. So that has become a cultural anthem. I call it a cultural anthem, a daily anthem. Okay, so we hear Hayya ala Salah, Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar. So it has become more cultural to us. But do we really know the sole purpose of that call? It's called As-Salah, or Nida' As-Salah, the call for prayer. So Allah Azza wa Jalla is giving us the purpose. The purpose is not for you to stand and bow down and do prostration and قَدْ قَامَتِ الصَّلَاةِ Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alamin. No! This is not the purpose. This is a mean towards achieving a purpose. A purpose is this Salah تَنْهَى عَنِ الْفَحْشَاءِ وَالْمُنْكَرِ. It should stop me, it should shape me to be a very moral person, to stay away from evils and things which are mischievous. Al-Fahsha is a broad topic. Al-Munkar, anything which is evil. Zina is part of evil. Stealing is part of evil. Backbiting is part of evil. So just one pillar of Islam, which is Salah. On daily basis, we do it 5 times a day, which is Al-Mafruḍāt Al-Khamsa. But besides that, we do the Sunan and the Nawafil. So how many times does a Muslim really subjugate himself or herself and bow down to Allah? How many times? A lot of times. But do we really take the akhlaq, the moral part of the Salah? This is our topic for this afternoon. The moral part of Salah, have we really understood that? Live along that. الزكاة فالزكاة تطهرهم وتزكيهم بها. Allah says خذ من أموالهم صدقة تطهرهم وتزكيهم بها. Pay the zakah, take from them the annual deduction, which is zakah, the compulsory one. What is the purpose? What is the purpose? Not to I've given zakah, I've done this and that. No. تطهرهم. First, it should purify us. It should cleanse our hearts. And then, وَتُزَكِّيهِمْ بِهَا. It purifies our wealth, it purifies our nafs from stinginess, and becoming so mean and becoming so greedy. This is when it comes to economy, it comes to money, it comes to finance now. See? So each and every act of worship, it talks about morality and akhlaq. When it comes to الصيام, Allah Azza wa Jalla says, يا أيها الذين آمنوا كتب عليكم الصيام كما كتب على الذين من قبلكم لعلكم تتقون. التقوى is the ghaya. It is the main focus and the main objective. So, not abstaining from food and drink and other desires. No, not showing off. This is the month that we are all fasting. It's the cultural fasting and stuff. No, it's the taqwa, is the piety. Meaning, we should fear Allah and think of Allah when we have food or without food. In any circumstance, we should fear Allah. We should put Allah right in front of us in all circumstances. And other pillars of all rituals that we do. Al-Hajj, for example, Al-Hajj, which has just passed a few months ago, it was a pillar of Islam that should shape each and every Muslim. Makarim al-Akhlaq. The Islamic moral and conduct. What is that? Unity in diversity. There are many. And the ulama that authored books, volumes and volumes. One of them is an Imam Al-Ghazali, Hujjatul Islam, Al-Imam Al-Ghazali. He has a very famous book that you all know. It's called Ihya Ulumuddin, the revival of religious science. And when I was reading this book for the first time, I asked my Shaykh, why did Imam Ghazali call this name? This kind of strange name. Revival of religious science? What do you revive? The scholars before him didn't write about religious science? He said, read what's in the book, and then ask the question. I said, okay. We start reading the chapter. So Imam al-Ghazali, in this book, he does not talk about he talks briefly about the pillars of the salah, of furudat, and the recommended, but he's giving us the secrets and the motives behind the salah. Ihya ulumi. He said, many people are praying, many people are doing zakah, many people are going for hajj, but they don't know the sole purposes of these pillars of Islam. And that's why we make hajj as what? As another destination for tourism. So have you gone for Umrah this time? Meaning, have you gone to visit Mecca this time? That's what it means. Because the sole purpose of Umrah, the sole purpose of hajj has really been lost in our societies. That is associated with makarim al-akhlaq, the Islamic moral and conduct. Anybody who ever got this opportunity to go for Umrah or Hajj in totality, he or she should come back. Just the Prophet said, كَيَوْمِ وَلَدَتْهِ أُمِّهِ, just like a newborn child. A newborn child is innocent. He or she has no any single mistake. She's pure, he's pure, absolutely. But when we go there, we need to learn that look at this Muslim from different parts of the world, look at their colors. How can this particular Muslim comes back then in his society and start practicing racism, racial tendencies, start looking at other people as if they're new in this religion or they don't even deserve to become Muslim? A brother asks you, many times I've cited this example, are you Muslim, brother? He's asking you this question because of your look. But the look of you don't deserve to become a Muslim. So maybe a Muslim in his ideology is supposed to be someone who looks a little bit Asian, with a big turban, with a long beard. This is his description of Muslim. So someone with a dark skin complexion does not deserve to become Muslim. Someone who is white and pale does not deserve to become a Muslim. Come on. See, this is how we have narrowed Islam. But these pillars of Islam and other teaching that the Prophet ﷺ, we need to go deeper to the very, very, very primary motives of these pillars. Not just being satisfied with the superficial practicality of the pillars of Islam. No, we know the 4 rakahs of Dhuhr, we know the 3 rakahs of Maghrib, everybody knows that. But we don't know the bottom, secrets of this salah. So these have been deeply enshrined in our pillars of Islam. But not only that, apart from that, even in the ahadith, you see that Islam in totality talks about makarim al-akhlaq, Islamic morality. That Islam, the true Islam, is husnul khuluq, is to live with people and cooperate with people in a good manner. والأحاديث الصحيحة تجسد الإيمان في فضائل الأخلاق وعددت من شعب الإيمان. The Prophet said, "Man kana yu'minu billahi wal yawmil akhir falyasil rahim." Look, Islam talks about what? Good conduct. He said, "Whomsoever believes in Allah wholeheartedly, falyasil rahimah." He should solidify, he should strengthen his what? His relatives. Islam talks about relatives, yes. So if you're praying, you're doing zakah, you're going for hajj, but you don't speak to your relative, you've been cut off with your relative, you're not a Muslim. The Prophet says, "Man kana yu'minu billah." This is a mu'min, a true believer. He's the one who always strengthens his ties with his relative. Not only that, وَمَنْ كَانَ يُؤْمِنُ بِاللَّهِ وَالْيَوْمِ الْآخِرِ فَلَا يُؤْذِي جَارَهُ. If you call yourself a believer, if you call myself a believer, we do not disturb our neighbors. فَلَا يُؤْذِي جَارَهُ. He does not disrespect, he does not cause any harm to his neighbor. And the Prophet ﷺ made it generic, jara, a neighbor, a Muslim, a non-Muslim. A Muslim, a non-Muslim. Whoever he is. And if really we have been that good and we have really understood Islam in this perspective, that Islam is not confined to mosques and the masajid and madaris, but it is a practical way of life, our neighbors would have become Muslims. Because our neighbors would have wanted to become like us. Yes, but sometimes we become the source of a barrier for them to come to Islam. Somebody will say, well, you Muslim, the way you park your cars? No way, I don't want to be like you. You Muslim, the way you organize your beans outside? I've got a Muslim neighbor who doesn't care anything about his beans. You see that? Somebody doesn't want to come to Islam because of the way you put your bean. Because the way, when I take my bean outside, this is how we harm them. We act as barriers to them. So it is incumbent upon us, my beloved brothers, we are here, we need to show people makarim al-akhlaq, the Islamic morality, the good conduct of Islam. Not the Islam of only coming to the Masjid, Ramadan after Ramadan, and that's it, with the big attires. You know, when I put on this, everybody says, Assalamu alaikum, that's a Muslim. So if I put on my jeans and my t-shirt, I'm not a Muslim? Maybe that Muslim who put on jeans and t-shirt, you know, he's better than the one who's wearing the jubbah and the big imam. Because we have confined Islam into the religion of shapes, you know, and certain kind of attires. No, there is no single hadith that talks about it. Islam is about morality and it's about husn al-khuluq. The hadith continues. وَمَنْ كَانَ يُؤْمِنُ بِاللَّهِ وَالْيَوْمِ الْآخِرِ فَلْيُكْرِمْ ضَيْفَهُ. And whosoever wants to call himself a Muslim, who believes in Allah and the Day of Judgment, he should do ikram, he should become hospitable to his guest. You know, tahadu, tahabu, the Prophet ﷺ say, give gifts to each other. Tahadu, you will strengthen the love between yourselves. We've renounced this sunnah nowadays. How many of us even, you know, come with a gift to a fellow Muslim brother? I bought a pen, this for you, this is a book for you, brother. Yes, فَلْيُكْرِمْ ضَيْفَهُ. The Prophet said he should do ikram, he should become hospitable to his guest. You have a guest nowadays, we are renouncing the Islamic tradition. We are so busy. So you know what, let's meet at the McDonald's. You meet at McDonald's in Muslim? It's only recently because of what's happening in Gaza and all that. Muslims, the big influence of Muslims now have, you know, disentangled themselves, they have distanced themselves from McDonald's and KFC. But Muslims used to go and meet at McDonald's and KFCs with their fellow Muslim brothers. So the tradition of inviting a Muslim, come home for a cup of tea, that one is about to be washed away. So we as Muslims, we have to revive this sunnah. Prophet ﷺ said, "Man ahya sunnati faqad ahabbani." Whomsoever revive my sunnah. Sunnah is not only to keep long beard. Sunnah is anything that the Prophet ﷺ did. فَقَدْ أَحَبَّنِي. Indeed, this person has loved me. وَمَنْ أَحَبَّنِي. And whomsoever loves me, كَانَ مَعِي فِي الْجَنَّةِ. He is going to be with me in the paradise. SubhanAllah. So, this is our religion. This is our religion. وَمَنْ كَانَ يُؤْمِنُ بِاللَّهِ وَالْيَوْمِ الْآخِرِ فَلْيَقُلْ خَيْرًا أَوْ لِيَصْمُتْ. The bigger picture of Islam is, whomsoever believes in Allah and the judgment, he should speak what is the truth, أَوْ لِيَصْمُتْ, or he should remain silent. This is our religion. No exaggeration of things, no lying, no backbiting, no spreading rumors, no. And the opposite to that, apart from that, the Prophet, Islam also as a religion does not only confine in the salah and the zakah, but it talks about al-adl, justice, wal-ihsan, wal-sidq, wal-amana, truthfulness. These are the pillars, these are the mabadi' al-Islam. These are the basic pillars of Islam. Wal-wafa'u bil-ahd. When you make a promise to somebody, you have to keep the promise. This is Islam. وَالْإِنْجَازُ لِلْوَعْدِ وَالرَّحْمَةُ بِالْخَلْقِ وَالصَّبْرِ فِي الْيَأْسِ وَالضَّرَّاءِ. Being kind to animals, being kind to people, وَالصَّبْرِ, and staying steadfast. Steadfastness, you know, steadfastness and perseverance. فِي الْبَأْسَاءِ وَالضَّرَّاءِ, when during the time of what? Trials and tribulations. Wallahi, I've never seen the people who really practice this as our brothers in Gaza. Subhanallah. These people have been squandered. These people have been exploited and denied from each and everything that you can think of. Food, medicine, better life, water. But look at these people. Huh? These people, sabr wal musaba, samidun. They will say, we will never give up our country. Never, ever. We'd rather die, all of us. You see a woman, a mother, who's losing his child, losing her husband, her child, her son and everybody. And she says, Hasbunallah wa ni'mal wakeel. Subhanallah. The whole house has been, demolished. And you see a young man saying, Hasbunallah wa ni'mal wakeel. Where did you learn that? Ahlul Gaza, the people of Gaza, they are teaching us the what? The practical, actual Islam. Islam of sabr. You live in the West, me and you, we live in Africa, in the West, in Asia. Allah tests us with, a disease, tests us with something. You lose your job, you lose something. You know what? There's no point of going to mosque. I don't see the role of God in my life. I met a Muslim. Somebody saying, I don't see, the help of God in my life. It's me waking up in the morning, hunting for jobs and everything. Where is the role of God? I say astaghfirullah. Faqad kafarta billah. You're coming out of Islam. This is just a simple test. Just a simple test can sometimes shake our faith. Is there any other trial than the trial of what? Threat and war. Khawf, threat is the biggest thing. Sayyidina Ibrahim alayhi salam, when he reached Mecca for the first time, what did he say? رَبِّ اجْعَلْ هَذَا الْبَلَدَ آمِنًا مُطْمَئِنًّا. وإذ قال إبراهيم رب اجعل هذا البلد آمنا. The first thing he said, oh Allah, make this city of Makkah to become the peaceful seat, the seat of peace. Because he knew, when you have peace, you have everything else. And then he said, وَجْنُبْنِي وَبَنِيَّ أَن نَعْبُدَ الْأَصْنَامِ. See, and then, oh Allah, protect me, وَبَنِيَّ, and the future entire generation to come, أن نعبد الأصنام. And he put himself in there, that we do not come and worship the idols. Look at that. First, he prayed for peace, then shirk. Now, simple logic would say, Ibrahim would have asked Allah to protect his children from shirk first. No, first is peace. Because when you have peace, you have what? You have, the time to worship Allah. You have the freedom of choice. Without peace, you don't have that. أقول قولي هذا وأستغفر الله العظيم لي ولكم فاستغفروه فيا فوز المستغفرين ويا نجاة التائبين.